Hey everybody, just wanted to make a quick video. I just started mixing my Andrographis extract and my raw unfiltered honey into a mason jar. I figured I'd turn the video on just so I could at least show you guys exactly how I'm going to mix it, because I've been getting a lot of questions. How much do I use of the Andrographis? How much honey do I use? How much should I make in a mason jar? How much a mason jar hold? So, all right, I'm going to solve all the answers now. Right now, in this mason jar, I've already put 10 teaspoons of Andrographis powder, all right? So it's the extract we all got at bulk supplements, okay? And I already put 200 mils, okay, 200 milliliters of raw unfiltered honey. Remember, get the honey. I use this honey. It's from Costco. It's raw unfiltered. The only ingredient back here is honey. That's all that should be in your honey. You got to watch out because there's a lot of added sugar in different honeys. Get the raw unfiltered. It's not processed, okay? So I have a mason jar that is about, to the top, it's going to be about 400 milliliters. That's what we're looking for. So I already have 200 mils of honey in here plus 10 teaspoons. Now, let's do the math. Let's do the breakdown. Every teaspoon, okay, is going to be 3,000 milligrams of Andrographis. Why? Because a third of a teaspoon is 1,000 milligrams. So there are 3 1/3 teaspoons in 1 teaspoon. So that gives us 3,000. It's real easy. It's real basic math. So what do we need to do? Because a lot of people saying, oh, Frank, I mixed X amount of Andrographis powder in there and I put some honey in it. And then they're thinking every teaspoon that they take, they're getting a certain dose. Well, guess what? It's not true, because they're not accounting for the volume of honey. Okay, so there's volume of Andrographis powder and there's volume of honey, and you need to make sure you have that correct mixture. So this way you know what dose you're taking. And the reason is because if you're going to take this and you're going to measure your results, let's say you're taking 2,000 a day, you're doing it in 2 doses of 1,000 each. You're going to get tested after 30 days. So what happens at that? You want to make sure that when you see those numbers, you can say, all right, I did 2,000 a day, AM and PM, let's say, and my numbers went down by X. Then you know, all right, that's good. That's what I did. Now, bioprene is another thing that we're going to mix. I don't have it, didn't come yet, but I will probably not put it in this mixture because I did take a little taste as I was mixing it in here, and it tastes like exactly what it looks like, okay? It is super bitter. You all have been right about how bitter this is. This is probably one of the most bitter herbs that I have taken ever, okay? It's very earthy. The aftertaste, my goodness, I can still taste it. It's real bad. So that's why I decided, let me add more honey to see if I can cut the bitterness down. But I figured, let me turn the camera on so I could at least help you guys measure out and do this little experiment here in advance. So this way you will do it correctly and not second guess on how much Andrographis is per teaspoon or per tablespoon. Okay, so let's get to the chase here. So I already had 200 mils plus 10 teaspoons, so I have 30,000 milligrams of Andrographis powder in there. All right, I'm running out of honey, but I did get another bottle here. So I'm going to just fill this up the rest of the way, okay? Yeah, that's the end of the honey. Look, you take too much of that, it's probably what's going to happen to you. So just watch your dose, titrate up, otherwise you could be on the bowl. All right, let's take some more here. There we go. Come on, baby. Right up to the top there. All right, that's going to be about, let's see, that's, yep, I would say that's about, the neck goes up. All right, perfect. There we go. Now I have 400 milliliters of honey in there. I have 10 teaspoons of Andrographis. Let me break down the numbers, okay? Get a pen and write this down. So every teaspoon is 3,000 milligrams. I have 10 teaspoons. That means there's 30,000 milligrams in here, okay? Now I have 400 milliliters of honey. If you divide that out, every teaspoon is going to be 375 milligrams. Every tablespoon, okay? And let's see, I don't have an actual measuring tablespoon here. Let me get one because I got to mix this up. So here's a regular tablespoon that is people that make teas, you eat soup with and stuff. Here is a measuring, okay? This is a measuring tablespoon. God's honest truth, I actually poured it back and forth. It's identical, but not every spoon is going to be exact to a measuring spoon. So just be mindful of that. So if you can get one of these, all right, you'll be able to measure it correctly. So let me just mix this up. So every teaspoon will be 375 milligrams of Andrographis powder. Now, if I decide to take, and I'm using a tablespoon here, if I decide to take a full tablespoon, there are 3 teaspoons in 1 tablespoon. So do the math. 375 times 3. It's 1,125 milligrams of Andrographis powder, okay? So now, if you take that twice a day, you're going to be at 1,125, 2,250 milligrams, okay? If you take it 3 times a day, then do the math, all right? So it's real simple here. So I want to mix this up so it tastes a little better, because I got to tell you, it was really bitter as anything, and I'm not going to put the bioprene in there because it'll just wreck everything. Bioprene's very strong in itself. I'm just going to take the 10 mg tabs every time I do a dose here. But the big thing is, I hope I mix this really well because I want to get it all from the bottom, all up to the top here, mix it around. This way it tastes a little better because it was so bitter before. Not that it wasn't unbearable, because it wasn't, but man, you need to put something in your mouth afterwards or chase it with something or brush your teeth. But let's see how this tastes here. I'm actually going to, all right, that's mixed pretty well. I'm going to continue mixing, but I'm not going to sit here and bore you with the mixing, but let's do this, all right? I'm going to take this half a teaspoon. Okay, matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to take a full teaspoon. So this full teaspoon, what's this going to be? You guys remember? You're writing this down? If 1 teaspoon equals 375 milligrams, which is that's what this will be. If I take a tablespoon or I take one of these here, that's going to bring me to what? 1,125. Okay, so be sure you understand that. Write those down. I already took 1,000 mgs before I started this, plus I took half a teaspoon before, so I don't want to go crazy overdosing over here, because not for nothing, after I took that, I started getting a little flush and red and stuff like that, so, which is common with the bioprene actually, but we're going to let's just take a taste. I'm going to take a taste and see if it actually cut it and made it better. It's a lot thinner, I got to tell you, because it was like motor oil before. So let's see what the taste is here. I'm going to take a little taste without spilling this. Oh, wow. It's still bitter. Make sure, okay. Make sure you mix it well, because if you get chunks of this Andrographis, what I just did, you're going to be chewing on it, and that's bitter. But I got to tell you, that extra honey made a big difference. It's still bitter. It still tastes like motor oil. It's rough. But guess what, guys? The end justifies the means. Who cares? Just do it, suck it up, get it done, all right? Anyway, just wanted you to know this is what I'm doing in addition to my tablets, because I'm titrating up. Started at 1,000 a.m. and 1,000 p.m. Then I went 1,000 a.m., 1,000 at lunch, and 1,000 p.m. Now, each time I'm taking 10 milligrams of bioprene. Okay, let me get the bioprene. I'll show you real quick. It's just a regular bioprene I got off of Amazon. Not a big deal. Nothing crazy. See that? Bioprene, 10 mgs. I'm taking 1 with every dose. I already took 1 of these, so I'm not taking any more. So that's what I'm doing. And then what we'll do is I'll start titrating up to 4,000 milligrams per day. I'm going to base it upon my body weight. I'm almost 200 pounds. So I'm most likely going to be between 4,000 and 6,000 milligrams per day. That's because of my body weight. Okay? Wow, I can really taste that aftertaste. Make sure you mix it well. So get on the Andrographis, titrate up maybe a couple days at the 2,000, a couple days later, go up to 3,000. See how you feel. A couple days later, if you're feeling okay, because remember, I think the study was basically saying the max you want to do is 2,000. A lot of us are pushing the envelope. Remember, we're killing a virus here. So what does that mean? We don't want to be sprinkling a little salt, a little pepper, you know, a little splash of this, a little splash of that. This is not like a multivitamin. We're using orthomolecular medicine, which is vitamins or minerals, or let's just say supplements in general, at a higher concentration to get the job done, okay? So that's ultimately what we're doing here. So titrate up, work yourself up to 4,000, and then after 30 days, I recommend you get tested. Once you get tested, okay, you'll be able to see, did this work, provided everything else in your diet and everything else in your life is constant. So if you're still eating the same foods, you're still sleeping well, you're keeping your body low stress, you're still taking your other supplements, and this was the only thing you added, okay, and then your numbers dipped, that's great. Do it for another 30 days just to confirm the results you got from the previous 30 days. Understand? So this way you can say, guess what? This stuff is actually working. And if it's dropping your numbers quite well, look, you don't have to increase the dose, because sometimes more is not better. Sometimes more is not always better. So you don't want to give yourself some other problems as well, because there are some contraindications. There are some side effects that you could get. You all been passing it around the group and you know what I'm talking about. So just be mindful, okay? But I would say getting up, for me being 200 pounds, or close to 200 pounds, the 4,000 is the number I'm going to go to, and see about creeping up to 6. All right? I hope this helps. If anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out. What's going on, people? All right. So since there were a lot of chunks in the Andrographis mix, and I got a couple of them I was chewing on, which I'm still tasting half an hour later, I have now taken my KitchenAid, okay, and put everything in here. So I'm going to be mixing it up, and I had this idea, because I'm always full of ideas. Let's get this mixing up. Matter of fact, I'll show you what's going on here. Look at that. Professional operation going on right here. So we'll get that going. Let that mix, but here's what I'm gonna do. Okay, well, that's mixing. Whoop, where are we? Can you see me? I'm gonna take some cinnamon, put some cinnamon in there. Actually, I got some more downstairs. So, because I only have a little bit left in here. I might take a little bit of clove, because this is actually good for you as well, and see how I can manipulate this taste to make it a little bit better, because guess what? It's bitter. You guys are 100% right. So let's get this all mixed up real nice here without making a mess. Get that going up nice. Look at that. I'm telling you what. You know what? Maybe I should make batches and sell them, huh? Put them in mason jars, make everybody's life easier. Who knows? I don't know. I ain't time for that. Anyway, let's try that and see what's going on. I'm going to mix this with some cinnamon. Let me go downstairs and get some more, because remember, 1 is none, 2 is 1. Think about that. All right, we're going to put this on pause. Okay, we're back. So, this is still mixing over here. Got this thing cranking. Looks like a bunch of those chunks are coming out now. It's actually looking pretty good. Look at that. It's like we're baking a cake. Can you see that? Look at that. Nice and creamy. You know what? I should have done that in the first place, but live and learn. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I have some ground Saigon cinnamon, okay? Went and got the extra one I was telling you about. I'm going to only put a teaspoon in. Those of you that cook or work in the kitchen or make food, you know what I'm talking about when I say cinnamon is really, really strong. So let's do this. I'm going to dump this. Before I go putting that in, I'm going to shut that down, because you all know what happens when you start throwing something in a KitchenAid, right? Let's see if that cinnamon does a little something. Look, cinnamon's good for you anyway, so we're going to run that through. Let's see if I can smell it. Oh yeah, I smell a little difference. A little difference. It's like we're baking a cake here. But look, if we can make this better, so this way it's more bearable, more people will do it, especially if it's actually working for people. So let that mix a little bit more. Now, let's see, I put in 1 teaspoon there. We'll see how now it's not going to change the concentration, because I know a bunch of you thinking, is it going to change the concentration? Statistically, it will be insignificant, okay? It'll be insignificant. It'll be minimal, okay? So don't worry about that. All right, so let's stop this right now. Oh yeah, look at this. Look at that. Yeah, baby. All right, let's do a little taste test here. Let's see. Let's see if it's any better. Earthy. Cinnamon did make it better. Only tastes half as crappy. That's all. So just being real here. So you know what we're going to do? I'm going to add a little more. Because if we could put that cinnamon in there and just cut it a little. So what I'll do, since we're putting another teaspoon in there, all right, I'm going to venture to say that, let's see, that was almost a full teaspoon there. So I'm dealing with scratching the bottom of the barrel here, guys. So that's two teaspoons there. So let's just say this is, for round numbers, we're gonna do this round number stuff. Because look, it's a science, but it's also an art doing all this. Healing, it's not just a science, but it's an art. You can have all these tablets here, and I take these on a daily basis. Yeah, I still take them, okay? But what I'm saying though is, once you get the science, now it's an art to figure out what works for your body. So we're gonna mix this up. I'm gonna just round it to, let's say, round it down to 1,000 mgs, okay? So look at that. Smells good too. Let's test it. Oh baby. And I'm definitely getting my Andrographis fill here today. Look, it looks so much better. It looks so much better in this mixer here. I am onto something. Definitely made it better. Not totally, but I promise you, it's not as bitter with that extra honey, and it's not as bitter with the extra cinnamon. It's still there, you'll still get the aftertaste, but it's a lot more bearable. Anyway, just wanted to share that with you. I'm going to put this back in the jar, and then actually I'm going to let it mix a little more. It's still a little light chunks in there. But anyway, if you have any questions, let me know. Okay, here we go. Here's the finished product. Look at the difference. Big difference from last time, right? That's because it's mixed very, very well. So this looks beautiful. Still tastes a little earthy. Like I said, I put the cinnamon in there. It was a game changer. At the end, in between the video cuts, I did put a little bit extra in. I probably have 2.5 teaspoons. I'll probably go a full tablespoon next time. But looking good. So now, here we go. We have something that's a little bit more bearable to take. Let me know down in the comments if this is something that you would like me to produce. Okay, I'm not saying I'm gonna do it, but produce. Would this be something that you guys would purchase? Okay, just leave me some comments down below on your thoughts and opinions on this. All right, talk to you guys. Enjoy.